You have likely been led to believe that creating your ideal life is a difficult endeavor. The common narrative suggests it demands complex ceremonies, perpetual visualization, flawlessly crafted affirmations, and a relentless effort to elevate your energetic state. However, what if you were to learn that quantum manifestation is, in fact, remarkably straightforward? It is so simple that almost no one executes it properly. At this very moment, you exist within a quantum field, a realm of infinite potential. This field does not react to your striving, it responds to your alignment. Yet the majority of people approach manifestation as if it were a battle. They attempt to dominate their present circumstances through sheer will. They recite affirmations they don't truly accept, picture outcomes they subconsciously question, and compel themselves to adopt a positive mindset while their physical being remains trapped in patterns of fear, scarcity, and stress. This is precisely where the entire process breaks down. In the quantum realm, forcing creates friction. Let's simplify this into an elegant truth. Quantum manifestation is not about acquiring what you desire. It is about collapsing the version of reality in which you already possess it. The goal is not to alter the external world first, but to embody the internal signal that magnetically draws that world to you. The quantum field contains every conceivable possibility: success and failure, abundance and lack, love and loneliness, health and struggle. All of these exist simultaneously as waves of potential. The crucial insight is that a wave does not collapse into your tangible reality until it encounters a coherent observer. That observer is you, your focus, your attention, your emotion. These are the instruments that sculpt reality. However, most individuals are trapped in a cycle. They are observing from a place of fear, concentrating on what is absent. They are resonating with the frequency of lack while attempting to attract abundance. In the language of quantum physics, this is static noise, not a clear signal. You have been instructed to pursue what you want. Yet the true artistry of manifestation is to transform into the version of yourself that has ceased chasing. It is the self that recalls, "I am already quantumly entangled with the life I desire. The field is awaiting my signal. My purpose is not to exert more effort, but to achieve greater clarity." So why do people avoid this approach? Because simplicity can feel disarming. Because releasing control seems counterintuitive. Because surrendering the pursuit feels synonymous with quitting. But here is the paradox seldom discussed. The instant you release the desperate need for an outcome, the field is finally able to deliver it to you. Consider an instance in your life when something arrived with effortless grace. Perhaps you accidentally met the perfect person, received an unexpected opportunity, or had a revolutionary idea when you weren't striving. What is the common denominator? You were not gripping. You were not forcing. You were open, aligned, and available. That was quantum manifestation in action, whether you recognized it or not. The quantum field is indifferent to your words. It interprets your energy. You can repeat, "I am wealthy," 1,000 times, but if your physiology is still transmitting fear, if your heart remains clenched in scarcity, and if your nervous system is still conditioned for struggle, the field will reflect that chaos back to you. This is not a punitive act, but a precise one.
Therefore, the radical transformation begins here. Quantum manifestation starts when you cease focusing on acquisition and begin focusing on being. You become the signal. You embody the vibration. You allow your state of being to lead, not your exertion. This raises an essential question. What exactly does the quantum field respond to? Is it merely thoughts, emotions, beliefs, or actions? How do you synchronize these layers to prevent sending conflicting messages? This is the point where most manifestation teachings fail. They concentrate on a single element, typically thoughts or feelings, without addressing the deeper, systemic need for coherence. They advise positive thinking without healing the trauma stored in your body. They promote visualization without clearing the subconscious programs that sabotage you. They encourage affirming success while your nervous system remains braced for failure. The quantum field receives the entire signal, the integrated, embodied signal. This is why alignment is not a mental exercise. It is a full body, full system, full field shift. In the next segment of our exploration, we will deconstruct the mechanics of the quantum field. We will examine why the observer effect is critical, what wave collapse truly signifies, and how your subconscious broadcasts signals beyond your conscious awareness. We will reveal the elegant principles behind what appears to be magic. I will demonstrate why manifestation functions most effectively when you relinquish the need to try so hard. So I pose this open question to you, and I encourage you to sit with it as we prepare for the next section. In which area of your life are you trying so hard that you have become the very obstacle you are trying to overcome? Are you ready to delve deeper into the quantum with me? Let us explore the mystery you have been circling without even realizing it. The quantum field is not responding to your wishes, it is responding to your coherence. At its core, quantum manifestation is not about thoughts, emotions, or actions in isolation. It is about the alignment of these three into a unified signal that the field can interpret without distortion. Envision the quantum field as a cosmic translator. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are synchronized, the message is lucid, the vibration is steady, and the field responds almost immediately. But when you think one thing, feel another, and act in a disconnected manner, the message becomes scrambled. The field reflects back not clarity, but chaos. This is where the observer effect, a cornerstone of quantum physics, becomes relevant. At the quantum level, particles exist as a wave function, a state of pure potential. However, when an observer, you, focuses on a specific possibility, that wave collapses into a fixed event. Reality solidifies and choices crystallize. The unseen becomes seen. But there is a critical nuance. The observer is not solely your conscious mind. The observer is also your subconscious. This means that even if you consciously desire abundance, a subconscious mind wired for survival, scarcity, or fear will be the dominant broadcast the field receives. Your subconscious becomes the true observer, collapsing a timeline you did not consciously choose. This is why many feel trapped. They align their surface mind while ignoring the deeper programs running beneath. In the quantum domain, the subconscious invariably prevails.
It becomes even more fascinating. Research by scientists like Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton has shown that the heart generates an electromagnetic field significantly more powerful than the brain's. This heart field radiates outward and interacts with the larger quantum field surrounding you. When your heart and brain are in coherence, you transmit a potent, unified signal. When they are out of sync, the signal becomes weak and fragmented. This is why attempting to manifest from your intellect alone so often fails. Without the emotional component, the felt sense of alignment, the quantum field lacks a clear signal to mirror back. This is where most people err. They seek to think their way into change, when in reality, they must feel their way into alignment. You cannot simply inform the field of what you want. You must become a vibrational match for it. This entails harmonizing your body, breath, nervous system, beliefs, and daily choices. It is not a one-time ritual, but a living practice. Consider a real-world example. Imagine you wish to manifest love.
You can write affirmations, create vision boards, and visualize your ideal partner. But if at a deep level you carry wounds of unworthiness, if your nervous system anticipates rejection, and if your heart is armored and afraid to open, the quantum field detects that tension. It perceives the contradiction, and what you receive in return is more longing, more searching, and more near-miss connections. This is not a punishment from the universe, but a perfect reflection of your dominant frequency. The necessary shift is into coherence, into feeling whole in the present moment, into practicing the emotions of your desired state before it materializes, into embodying the reality of already having it so the field can collapse that timeline into form. You become the frequency first, and the form follows. While this may sound complex, the profound truth is simple. The more you release control over the outcome and focus on regulating your internal state, the quicker the quantum field responds. This is why the premise is called simple, yet nobody does it. The human mind adores complexity. We crave 10-step plans, 5 hacks, and a guaranteed formula. But the quantum field is not a machine. It is a mirror, a dance partner. It is alive, responsive, and intelligent, waiting for you to meet it with a steady, embodied presence. So I invite you into this practice. Take a deep breath right now. Notice how your body feels as you listen. Identify where you are holding tension. Observe the stories running in the background. For just a moment, soften. Relax your grip. Allow the compulsion to fix, force, and figure everything out to dissolve. Experience what it feels like to be okay right here, right now, without requiring anything to change. This is where your authentic power originates. If you are feeling a spark of recognition, if something within you is igniting, I warmly invite you to subscribe. Join this space, this conversation, this community. In the comments, share one word that names the energy you choose to embody this week. Perhaps it is trust, ease, or joy. Whatever arises first is your signal. Share it. Name it. Make it real. The moment you name it, you begin to align with it. Are you prepared to explore why this aspect of manifestation is rarely discussed? The part so simple it feels almost like cheating? Shall we proceed to the next layer? Why is it then that almost nobody actually applies this? Despite the plethora of books, courses, and endless videos on manifestation, why do so many remain stuck, frustrated, and disillusioned? The answer is both simple and uncomfortable. Letting go feels unnatural. The human mind is addicted to control. We are conditioned to believe that greater effort yields greater worth, that struggle signifies value, and that hard work guarantees success. When we encounter a system like quantum manifestation, where the essential keys are coherence, alignment, and surrender, it short-circuits our programming. We persist in trying to force outcomes, even though forcing is the very frequency that communicates a lack of trust to the field.
Let's analyze this. Most individuals who fail at manifestation are caught in what I term the control trap. They incessantly monitor their results. They visualize abundance but check their bank account hourly with anxiety. They script about love but obsess over text messages and dating apps. They declare health but scan their body for symptoms every morning. In doing so, they transmit a signal of mistrust to the field. They are consciously affirming one reality while subconsciously broadcasting its opposite. Why is this so significant? Because the quantum field does not communicate in English or any human language. It communicates in the language of energy. And energy is always truthful. You can articulate all the correct words, but if your nervous system is braced for loss, If your mind is locked in cycles of doubt, and if your body is flooded with stress hormones, the field responds to that deeper frequency. This is the reason so many people are exhausted. They are performing all the recommended actions, but they are doing so from a place of hypervigilance, scarcity, and lack. Consequently, they remain in a loop. They manifest more waiting, more lack, more striving, and more searching, because energetically, they are not in the timeline of already having. They are in the timeline of trying to get. This is where it becomes even more subtle. The subconscious mind governs approximately 95% of your life. It is the autopilot that shapes your habits, beliefs, emotional reactions, and sense of identity. You may consciously desire a breakthrough, but if your subconscious is anchored in old narratives, I'm not enough, nothing works for me, I must fight for everything, those stories will collapse the wave into the same familiar outcomes. This is why affirmations without embodiment feel hollow. This is why visualizations without nervous system regulation fail. This is why action without an aligned identity leads to burnout. So what can you do? First, you must understand that quantum manifestation is not an addition to your life. It is a recalibration of your entire system. It is a remembering, a returning. It is about becoming the version of you that inhabits the timeline you desire before any external evidence appears. For instance, if you want to manifest abundance, you practice feeling abundant now, not later when the money arrives, but now. You treat yourself with generosity, presence, and care. You relinquish micromanaging the outcome and focus on embodying the signal of trust. If you want love, you practice loving yourself now. You open your heart, soften your edges, and become the kind of partner you wish to attract. You cease seeking validation and start living as though you are already enough, because you are. If you want health, you stop scanning your body for what is wrong and begin nurturing what is right. You shift from survival mode into resilience. You practice gratitude for the body you have while gently guiding it toward greater vitality. And here lies the paradox. When you stop needing it so desperately, it arrives more swiftly. This is not because the universe is testing you, but because you are no longer generating resistance. Let me ask you, where in your life are you still gripping the steering wheel with white knuckles? Where are you still measuring, tracking, forcing, and chasing? What would happen if you loosened your grip by just 10%? Pause and contemplate this. This is not about passivity. It is about shifting from control to co-creation. That subtle, powerful, and revolutionary shift is where quantum manifestation truly begins to work. In the next section, we will discuss simple yet rarely practiced techniques to realign your system, regulate your state, and become the clearest possible signal to the quantum field. We will explore how to dissolve resistance without bypassing genuine emotions, how to build trust with your subconscious mind, and how to step into your desired timeline as if it is already yours. So reflect on this question before we advance. Where in your life are you still gripping so tightly that you have become the very blockage you are trying to remove?
Here we stand at the precipice of the most powerful truth in quantum manifestation, the element almost no one discusses, hidden in plain sight. It is this: you do not manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. This is not merely a pleasant notion. It is a fundamental principle governing how the quantum field interacts with you. The field does not respond to your words, vision boards, or perfectly worded affirmations. It responds to the signal of your being, the vibrational signature you carry into every room, every thought, and every interaction. That signal is constructed moment by moment, not through what you are doing, but through how you are being. Let me illustrate this with a metaphor. Imagine you are a radio. If you wish to hear jazz, you do not demand jazz from the universe while remaining tuned to a heavy metal station. You must change the dial. You must tune your frequency to match what you want to receive. Quantum manifestation operates identically. You cannot attract your desired timeline while vibrating at the frequency of the timeline you are trying to leave behind. So how do you change the dial? You begin by becoming conscious of your current frequency, not just what you think, but how you feel. How does your body move through the day? How do you breathe when stressed? What stories play on a loop in the background of your mind? Most of us are not manifesting deliberately. We are manifesting on autopilot, recycling the same states, reactions, and energetic broadcasts, and the field faithfully mirrors them back to us. The shift begins when you interrupt this pattern, not with brute force or frantic effort, but with simple, embodied practices. It can be as subtle as taking a conscious breath during a moment of anxiety, as gentle as placing a hand on your heart when spiraling into self-doubt, or as bold as asking, "What would the version of me who already has this do right now?" and then taking one small action from that place. Here's what no one tells you. The quantum field does not require perfection. It only requires coherence. Coherence occurs when your thoughts, emotions, and actions move in the same direction. It is when you cease saying one thing, feeling another, and doing something else entirely. It is when your entire system hums with a single, unified signal. When you achieve this state, even briefly, you generate a gravitational pull within the field. Reality begins to bend toward you. Now let's be practical. If you wish to embody abundance, practice generosity, not only with money, but with attention, time, and energy. Train your nervous system to feel the sensations of "I have enough," even if your bank account has not yet reflected it. If you wish to embody love, practice vulnerability. Open your heart in small, courageous ways. Be the safe space you long to find in another. If you wish to embody health, practice presence. Listen to your body. Nourish it, move it, and rest it from a place of respect, not punishment. This is the simple path, yet few walk it because it requires you to go first, to become the frequency before the evidence arrives, to lead with being, not needing. This brings us to one of the most misunderstood aspects of manifestation: emotional regulation. People assume manifestation is about feeling good constantly. It is not. It is about feeling authentically at all times and learning to return your system to alignment when it wobbles. This means welcoming your emotions, not bypassing them. It means holding space for fear without allowing it to drive. It means practicing emotional fluency so you can navigate waves without drowning in them. The truth is, you will wobble, you will doubt, you will have days when the old timeline pulls at you. That is okay. Power lies not in never falling, but in how quickly and gently you return to center. So, here is my invitation to you right now. Take a breath. Notice where you are. Ask yourself, what timeline am I tuned into in this moment? Is it fear or trust? Lack or abundance? Waiting or arrival? Observe without judgment. The moment you notice, you create a choice point, and choice is the gateway to coherence. In our final synthesis, we will explore how to transform these insights into a living practice, navigate setbacks with grace, and sustain the frequency that collapses your dream timeline into reality. But before we continue, I thank you for journeying this far. If you are feeling illuminated, seen, or sensing an internal shift, I invite you to subscribe. Join this space, this community, this conversation. In the comments, share one word that captures your present intention. Perhaps it is allow,
expand, or flow. Whatever it is, that word becomes your signal to the field.
Here we are at the final piece of the puzzle. Please hear this. Manifestation is not a performance, it is a practice. It is not something you master once, but something you live moment by moment, choice by choice. Many become stuck in the mindset that manifestation is about doing more, hacking the system, or perfecting a formula. In truth, the most powerful manifestors are not those who know the most techniques, but those who have learned to maintain a coherent state and regulate themselves back into alignment when life inevitably shakes them. You will face tests. There will be days when fear returns, old patterns whisper, and the timeline you're leaving tries to pull you back. In those moments, you will be tempted to revert to control mode, to push, force, and micromanage. But the real mastery is this. Can you remain in the frequency of trust before the evidence arrives? Can you hold the vibration of "it is already done" while the world looks unchanged? Can you become so anchored in your new timeline that the old one loses its seductive power? This is where embodiment becomes non-negotiable. Let's make this practical. Each morning, before checking your phone, take a few breaths and ask, what frequency am I choosing today? Scarcity or abundance? Fear or trust? Control or flow? Use your body as a compass throughout the day. It will tell you when you've slipped out of alignment through tension, tightness, or contraction. In that moment, refrain from self-judgment. Simply notice, breathe, and recalibrate. Ask, what would my future self choose now? And take one small action from that place. At night, replay the day with curiosity, not criticism. Where did you wobble? Where did you align? Where did you glimpse your power? Gratitude amplifies coherence. Acknowledge even the smallest wins. A crucial element most people miss is community. We are social, energetic beings who co-regulate with those around us. When you surround yourself with others practicing coherence, playing in the quantum field, and committed to embodiment, your system entrains to that vibration. Curate your environment, not just physically, but energetically. Find the voices, spaces, and communities that remind you of who you are becoming. Let your external world become an ally to your internal practice. Remember, there is no finish line. The goal is not to arrive and stop, but to live in a continuous unfolding where you become the living edge of your own evolution. You do not just manifest things, you become a creator, a co-creator, a conscious participant in shaping reality. The most beautiful part is this: the quantum field is not separate from you. You are not manipulating it from a distance. You are entangled with it. You are the field. You are the wave. You are the observer and the observed. When you tune your frequency, you are not merely asking life to meet you. You are becoming the very version of life you have been seeking. I leave you with this final invitation. In the comments, share one word that captures the energy you choose to carry forward. Perhaps it is alignment, ease, power, or something uniquely yours. Let that word be a profound declaration, a quantum seed you plant not only here, but within yourself. If this exploration has stirred something within you, I warmly invite you to subscribe. This is more than a channel. It is a living space for those ready to step into their creative power. When you subscribe, you are joining a movement of minds and hearts reshaping what is possible. Thank you for walking this path with me. Thank you for your presence, your attention, your energy. You are not just a viewer, you are a participant in this unfolding. Keep tuning, keep aligning, keep playing in the field.